Hello, my fishies. You can come closer. Seriously, come closer. Closer. Come on now, don't annoy me. There we go, that's much better. So now, where was I? Welcome back. It's time for the Halloween episode of the Fire Tuna Club. I did it, guys! I made the Halloween episode. But, not for lack of trying. This doll is cursed. I mean, really, didn't start that way. It certainly ended that way, though. I just want to say I invite all of you to hit up the comments and complain about how the fact that my avatar keeps changing. Because you better get used to it. This avatar is going to change about as much as you change your underwear. Let's get on to the actual project. A one-of-a-kind custom pumpkin head doll, which doesn't actually have a name yet, but I'll get there eventually. Time for a smooth transition. It's finally time to start my idea. I gotta clean off my desk first. This shouldn't take too long. So before I jump right into it, I wanted you all to see the idea I had. I won't say it was my initial idea, because I've been cooking up a personal pumpkin doll for myself forever. You will see some of the not even initial concepts later on in the video. You can't miss them. But this is the current concept I had. And in order to make that happen, I decided to get into Blender and start crafting a pumpkin head. This one is meant to be used on a Barbie body, so some trial and error did go into making the sizing correct. This is ultimately the face I decided to settle on, and at some point I plan to share it, but again, later on you'll see why it's gonna take a minute before I can release the files for others to be able to make their own. At this point is where I started to sketch out the actual sizing I wanted compared to the body. Okay, goodbye, pencil. And use my handy dandy ruler because me and digital visualization of proper sizing don't go together for some reason. Trust me, I found out the hard way. Once I've ballparked the size and kind of got the neck peg sizing correct, it will be time to start going through the iterations to perfect how I need it to print and to make sure the sizing is correct. And yes, I did say iterations. It will not be a print one and done, if only it were. 6 prints later, I have 2 viable options, and a painted unviable option. The one I'm focused on right now happens to be my backup failed print. Not that one, go back. Not that one either, but that's a very good example of a failed print. Right about when I flip it over, you'll see why I had some failures. Mostly because the teeth made it really hard to print, and I had to fiddle with the supports to get it right. That's why my backup has no top teeth. It was technically a failed print, but I liked the way the face went. Ultimately, I finally got the slicing and positioning and supports corrected to a point where you can see that all I have to modify is the gap where I have joined the front piece and the back piece, as well as some sanding to get rid of the layer lines. The filler mixture I use in my 3D prints is one of 2 options. For the layer gaps, I use a half and half-ish mixture of acetone and wood putty. You paint this on your mesh. No, I won't be explaining why my pumpkin has suddenly turned pink. Anyway, the mixture serves as double duty. The wood filler fills the gaps, and the acetone helps the filler dry faster. Typically, wood filler is colored. This helps you also see where you need to sand more or less, based off of the color differences from your print. You do this as many times as it takes to get the surface how you want it. Paint, sand, paint, sand. Hopefully 2 or 3 layers should be enough. And if you have big holes or gaps, or in my case, missing teeth, Cornstarch and super glue does fantastic work on repairing those mistakes. Man, this table did not look as busy when I was actually working on that pumpkin. Anyway, so I'd explained to you how I did my painting setup, but it went a little something like this and like this before I just said to heck with it. I did eventually get it to where I liked it somewhat. I hit it with some pastels. And yeah, you can kind of still see the layer lines a little bit, but it's all about practice. This is the best result I've had so far, and it will only get better from here on out. If you haven't already picked up on the cursed nature of this project, you should hear the alarm bells going off about now. I made 2 dresses, a skirt, and an apron flawlessly. However, I felt it was too difficult a pattern to share, so I stopped filming the first dress. Then I reconsidered and simplified the dress, and then didn't bother filming the second start because I thought the first one went perfectly. And then again, by the time I was making the skirt, and then I didn't bother filming the skirt because I realized it had a wonky hemline, and I was starting to get too defeated by then to bother filming it. And the apron, again, came out great, but it needed some adjustments to be beginner friendly. So all this to say that please don't forget to bookmark the firetunaclub.blogspot.com website so that you can get the patterns eventually. They will be on the blog eventually. They are not as of this video recording. There also might be a tutorial video, maybe, not making any promises. This October has been heckin' cursed. But if you don't bookmark the website, firetunaclub.blogspot.com, you will never know if the patterns go up. Okay, so next part. What better way to fix a broken doll than to break it some more? Using my nail drill and some super glue, I managed to bond some magnets into the broken arm so that I could eventually add a hand. I closed the gaps with some cornstarch and some super glue. The idea was to be able to slip the hand on and off as needed. The reality was the curse of this doll continued in that I superglued myself to the doll repeatedly. I also found out this mixture can and will damage silicone if you let it. Not to mention, I had a whole segment on how I did this with polymer clay, but as you can see, it didn't work out so good. So, I mean, really at this point, I accepted that this doll is not going to be done by Halloween, and it actually isn't. The hand is still incomplete, but I love it enough to share it, and I want to share it with you for Halloween because the hand is just so small. So even though the hand is not done, I want to explain the concept behind it. I did put the magnets into the arm, and then I followed up by taking a small metal ball out of a broken bearing I had, and I wrapped it up in polymer clay, which was going to become the base for the hand. I did follow up with sanding the hand some to make sure that there was very little material between the magnets and the balls. I'm gonna look into maybe getting a magnetic ball that might give a better hold. The idea does work. I've tried it. It's just that the hand won't be able to support, like, any weight. So I think this is a great idea that just needs some more tweaking. If any of you tried out, hit the comment section below and let me know how it goes for you and the materials you used, because I want to play with this more. I have so many broken dolls that need some love. All incomplete stuff aside, I'm going to show you the final shots of my incomplete cursed darling. Oh, I can't wait to finish her! I hope this project serves as a reminder that even though things feel like a hot mess and act like a hot mess in progress, anyone who has seen this doll has loved it. I'm in love with her even though she's not done. Trust the process, guys. Just trust the process and believe in your idea. So anyway, I'll see you all when I finish another project.